librarian, Mrs. Johnson, and you are watching I Lost My Library Book, a YouTube channel created to help you keep in touch with your library. Today, we are going to continue learning about a very special book award, the Pura Belpre Award, that was named after this lovely lady, whose name is Pura Belpre. She was the first Latina librarian at the New York Public Library. The books that win her special award have to give us an idea of what it's like to be a member of the Latino culture. So yesterday we read a story about a little girl who got to play the piano for a president. Today we're going to read a story called Across the Bay. And you can see it won the Pura Belpre Award, but it didn't get first place because it has a silver medal. It is an honor book, which means it kind of got like second or third place. We're still really, really good. Across the Bay is written and illustrated by Carlos Aponte. And Carlos was actually from Puerto Rico. It's a country. And this is the story of how he grew up across the bay. Carlitos lived in the town of Catania, across the bay from the capital. Mango, avocado, and banana trees grew in every yard. These were the pride of the people. Most of the families in Carlitos' town looked the same. His family didn't look like the others. Carlitos lived in a colorful house with his mother, Carmen, his abuela. Do you know what abuela is? Grandmother. So he lived with his mother, Carmen, his abuela, and Coco the cat. Fresh azucenas filled every room. These were abuela's favorite flowers. Carlitos loved the town of Catania, but he did not like the barber shop. Buenos dias, Doña Carmen, said Francisco, the barber. Buenos dias, Francisco, said Carlitos' mother. Just a trim for my handsome little man. Carlitos blushed. And if you finish first, said Carmen to her son, I will be across the street at the beauty salon. Carmen paid the barber, blew her son a kiss, and left the barber shop. Carlitos took a seat and waited his turn next to the fathers and sons. After his haircut, Carmen returned to drive Carlitos home. The little boy stared out the window at the Capitol. Mommy, where is Papi? Carlitos asked. Do you think he will ever come home? Carlitos, your father is across the bay, said Carmen. Sometimes things don't work out, but Abuela and I love you very much. Are you happy with us? Carlitos nodded. He was happy, but he always wondered about his father. Why don't we go to the beach tomorrow? Said Carmen. Imagine the fun we'll have. At home, Carlitos opened a small wooden box he kept in his dresser. Under a pile of cards and comics, he found an old photo of his father. I'll find you, Papi, the little boy said, tucking the photo into his pocket. Next, he grabbed some money that Abuela had slipped under his pillow. He tiptoed quietly out the front door and straight to the ferry terminal. Carlitos bought a ticket and sat by the window. So far, so good, he thought. On the boat ride, the boy heard whoosh and splash as the ferry cut through the waves. The ancient city of Old San Juan grew bigger and bigger. In a park by the cathedral, cats lounged in the shade. Some napped behind trees. I'm looking for someone, Carlitos told the woman named Cassandra. "Do you know this man?" Said Cassandra. She looked at the photo. "I know more cats than people these days. San Juan might seem small, but it is a big place. You might have to travel the whole city." And so he did. Wow. In a colorful plaza, old men played dominoes. Carlitos asked one man about his father, and then another, and then another. But no one knew his papi. On San Sebastian Street, people wore colorful costumes and sang and danced to the rhythm of guitars. "Que bonita bandera! Que bonita bandera! Es la bandera puertorriqueña." The little boy searched the faces in the crowd, but no one looked like his father. Carlitos searched all over the city. He walked so far he reached the edge of old San Juan. The castle El Morro stood at the top of a hill overlooking the bay. "The only place left to look is that castle," Carlitos said. "Papi must be in there." The little boy sprinted across the great lawn. His spirit felt as high as the kites in the sky. That's a cool picture. See all the kites flying? Carlitos arrived at the steps of the castle. "Do you know my father?" he asked the park ranger. "Maybe," said the ranger. "What does he look like?" The little boy reached for the photo in his pocket. "Oh no," said Carlitos, and his eyes filled with tears. Somehow the photo was gone. Clouds darkened the sky. Rain poured down in buckets. Carlitos and the ranger found shelter under an archway. "Why are you crying?" the ranger asked Carlitos. "I lost a photo of my father," said the boy. "Do you remember what he looks like?" asked the ranger. And Carlitos said, "Yes." "Then he will live forever in your memory." "When sad things happen," the ranger said, "I think of them like dark clouds. No matter the storm, the sun will always return." And just like that, the rain stopped. The sun came out and everything looked shiny and new. Carlitos walked along the water and glanced at the town of Catania. He wondered what his mama, his abuela, and Coco the cat were doing at that very moment. Now the sun was beginning to set. "Fresh as aceñas," a street vendor shouted. The little boy smiled. He handed the vendor some money and bought a fresh bouquet for Abuela. With flowers in hand, Carlitos raced back toward the ferry. His family was calling from across the bay. And Carlitos could not wait to see them. At the beach. Cool. The end. So Carlitos was a pretty brave little boy. He traveled all across the bay in a big boat called a ferry just to look for his father. Because remember, in the beginning of the story, he said that his family didn't look like the other families. He went to the barber shop, but he couldn't sit with his dad. He really missed his dad. Did he find him across the bay? No, that's pretty sad. But like the ranger said, the memory of his dad will live on in his heart. So Carlitos went on an adventure, but it was pretty cool that he realized that he had a special family waiting for him across the bay. Thanks for listening to this story. I thought it was pretty good. I think it definitely deserved to earn Pura Belpré's honor.